guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's going to be a very exciting day because we're at Carroll Shelby International, their Gardena location. What's interesting is that this is where they build classic Shelby GT350s. So right now I'm meeting up with Jim, who's actually part of the original Venice Crew who built the Shelby GT350s back in the 60s. Okay, so here we are. This is where they build the continuation Shelby GT350s. We got Jim right here from the original Venice Crew. I gotta say, man, just standing in here, this place is just like heaven. Guys, check this out. Look around us right now. Are these new continuation cars you're building right now, actually?
Yes, yeah, these are cars that have been sold, and we're in the midst of getting them up to speed. I mean, the first development we have is the cars drive in generally, and then we take every screw, nut, and bolt out of them, and then we media blast it, and then we change whatever panels need to be changed. We do not repair any panels.
Really?
We only change panels. So the car is virtually a new car when you get it.
What I find is interesting is that really deep down, these are real 60s Mustangs. They're not completely made from the ground up. You guys take original Mustangs with a title and
Yes.
you guys transform them
Yes.
into the GT3. Is it pretty hard trying to find a car to choose from?
Yeah, it is when we're dealing with K-Codes, you know, when we use a C-Code or A-Code, it's a little bit less of a problem.
Okay. How long does it take to get from this stage right here? What is the build time that you're looking at? So if you did want to get a continuation Mustang.
It's, we quote a year.
A year?
It takes a year. So much of it is hand done, but fitting it and putting it all together and then putting the mechanical parts in, the independent rear suspension that we put in, we modify the suspension pickup points in the front. We have some on the workbench right here. This is all handmade stuff. You know, these
incredible.
are not, you know, I mean, you can take a look at all this. This is all hand cut, hand done pieces. And so what's going on with this car is that the fender wells here are flared. And so I do this myself because I did the first one some 55 years ago. We cut out the overlap piece, and then I come in with a acetylene torch and a body spoon, and I bend it out into the shape, you know, kind of by eye. In fact, it is by eye. And I don't want it to be perfect because it wasn't perfect 50 years ago. So you'll see little scallops and rough spots. But that indicates that it's a handmade piece.
So that's an original GT350.
It's an original GT350 that came into us from Hawaii. You know, it's been, the customer said it was sitting in the field now for, I think, like 20 or 30 years.
Really?
And so you can tell, I mean, look at all the, you know, the rust and, you know, if you look on the other side, even the drain rail is literally rusted off the car.
God.
I mean, it's in tough shape. But we'll change all the panels.
Really?
Yeah, we'll do we'll change all the panels. You can even see that the cowl is rusted through. It'll look like a finished car when we're done with it.
Was the original motor in it and everything?
He hasn't brought it in, but he said he has the original motor.
Okay.
So what we'll do is we'll take the original motor, we strip it down to just a bare block, and then we'll send it up to the Carroll Shelby Engine Company and have them build it back. So as we walk over to this one, 98i, this is our prototype car. This is a 289 period correct block with Carroll Shelby aluminum heads. We do that because that's the most efficient way to get it to breathe properly. All this comes from the Carroll Shelby Engine Company, so we keep it in the family.
Okay.
And we pump out on the dyno. It pumps out about 460 horsepower. The plenum is hand cut and handmade, just like we did 50 years ago, by a gentleman by the name of Jerry Kirkpatrick, who worked at the shop 50 years ago. To get it on the track and to pass tech, we had to put in the pickup pieces.
Okay.
The pickup hose, just in case there's any overflow.
450 horsepower, right? For this, that's like only 10 less than a brand new Mustang GT. And this, how much does it weigh?
It weighs about 2,700 pounds.
So this would definitely blow away a Mustang GT,
Yeah,
especially in the straight line. That is,
Yeah.
that must be incredible. Plus no traction control, right?
No.
Nanny. This is
No nanny stuff.
What kind of tires you running?
The street tires are Pirelli P1s.
Okay.
And when we put it on the track, we put on the Goodyear racing tires.
Okay, yeah.
Goodyear slicks. The other feature on the finished car are these the aluminum frame windows, because we take out all the heavy cast iron pieces, and these are pull-up, push down and pull up windows with a strap. And so this is what we came up with 50 years ago. Actually, the pull-up strap was my idea.
Well, you know what? One thing I just really do love, though, is that as you can see right there, you do have the third pedal, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I think that just elevates the entire experience, makes it much more visceral. I think the new GT500 is good, but it just doesn't have that extra pedal for that extra engagement with it. You get a heel toe down shift,
because there's no nanny things. I mean, you are the driver of this car, right? There's nobody going to interfere about, well, I think you should brake now or brake harder, and you're in control of the car, just like they drove it 50 years ago.
Well, not just that though, because with the new 500, if you were to downshift, it might not let you downshift because you might damage the engine.
Right.
But this, you could downshift and end up damaging something.
So you're on your own with it. So it makes you more part of the car, more aware of what you're doing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right? And then you come around to the back, and then we have the same configuration fuel tank that we did 50 years ago with a quick release top. But the difference is that we have a bladder and foam in it for safety purposes.
So basically, those cars over there, in due time, maybe close to a year, like you said, they're gonna go from that to this, right?
Oh yes.
This is gonna be the finished product.
Yeah, this will be the finished product.
Honest question. What do you think of the new GT350 compared to this? That being, since you were part of this, you helped design build these cars back in the day.
Well, I think they did a very nice job of the car, and then they have the flat plane crank, which gives it a whole different dimension, right?
Would you ever expect to see a flat plane crank GT350?
No, I mean, without question,
Especially high revving like that, 8,250 RPM.
Yeah, this one, I had an episode on the way up to the drive where I had this one at about 7,300.
Oh my
and
gosh.
So, but the Carroll Shelby Engine Company builds great engines. So
this is classic. I am just super excited. I've always wanted to ride in a classic GT350. Just experience.
Well, I think we'll do. I'll take you around our neighborhood that we can go a little fast because it's kind of an industrial area. And then if you want, then you can take it for a drive yourself. Here I go, sitting inside of a Shelby GT350. This thing, you can tell right off the bat, this is so different than my 2016
Yeah,
Mustang. I think so. Here you go.
Thank you. Okay, this goes in that way, and then you just pull it this way.
Yep.
Lock it in.
Yep. And then you pull the ends, tighten it a little bit. I'm going to flip the electric on. That's a safety electric switch. I usually go right here a little bit, give it a chance to. This is so cool. It rides pretty nice, actually. Nice part about it is, even though we didn't make the light, right? So we're gonna sit here in traffic and the car won't overheat. You know, we put a little bit thicker radiator in it with an electric fan because it's a street car. You can drive it on the street, and we don't have to worry about overheating. The original cars had no fan at all.
Oh, really?
No fan at all and a big radiator, and they still overheated.
Just sitting here too, feeling the entire car can shake. Cop right there.
Yeah, sure.
I can't imagine how much fun this would be on the racetrack.
Oh yeah.
Especially Willow Springs. So to start it, what exactly do I do?
Just
Clutch in?
Put your foot on the clutch. Put it and make sure it's always in neutral.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's neutral? Right there?
Yep. Okay. And then just turn the ignition key all the way over. Oh, let it go. There we go.
Okay guys, here we go. First time driving a classic Shelby GT350. So here we go, put it in first gear is right.
First is, yeah.
That's interesting. So reverse is down that way, and then, okay,
yeah.
So first is right here.
Okay. Make sure, look in the mirror, make sure there's nobody coming.
There's no mirror on that side actually.
No.
Okay.
No, you gotta use this one.
Okay. Well, you can see everywhere. The visibility's amazing in this.
Pretty
Okay. No power steering too.
No.
Oh wow. Oh, you push down more. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. The brakes feel interesting with this. Totally different to what I'm used to.
And when you go to change to second, don't be bashful about putting muscle behind it.
Okay. Holy crap! Oh my gosh! You can feel the torque. You can definitely feel the torque with this thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like my 350. You can wind it out very easily, and then the power, yeah, it's always there constantly.
Go run this corner real tight. You're gonna have to put some real muscle in get to turning that wheel.
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah,
definitely
okay.
right about that. Gosh, it's been so long since I've driven a car without power steering.
Right.
And the feeling of it.
And this is with street tires. When we put the sticky tires on, it's really tough.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
So you said you've had this up to 7,300 RPM?
Yeah.
It shows a red line right there, so 60. So it can go much higher than that red line?
Yeah.
Okay. We're never going to see a car like this ever again. I don't know. This is going to go in the books right here.
No,
This
this is the last of the Mohicans. When we're done with these,
Oh my god.
that'll be it.
So put it first. Oh yeah, you're right. Jesus. Oh my god. I gotta really take that literally next time.
Yeah.
gosh, turn harder. There we go. I gotta get used to that.
Yeah.
You can really feel the car push back forward every time when you option. You gotta be quicker with the throttle, right?
Yeah, you don't have to leave off quite as much as you do.
Okay. So
You get to match the rev.
it actually feels like it's not too rough to drive though. Like you can.
It's not a rough car to drive. Once you get used to it, you know, it's not bad at all.
You can definitely drive this really anywhere as long as you're used to that, the steering wheel being not power. But like driving it now, it feels like a regular car, doesn't it? It's louder than a regular car, right?
Yeah.
But just the experience itself, though, is amazing. And you said you guys sold how many so far?
We're on about number 12.
Number 12. You ever roll up next to like a Hellcat or like a Dodge Charger or anything like that with this thing? And
We did on our way up to that GT500 drive.
Oh yeah.
And so one of the new Dodge Chargers kind of zipped past me, and so I didn't want that to. Didn't want to think it was too old. It was a grandpa's car. So we took off up Interstate 15, and we left the McLaren. And
Really?
adjusted about 140.
I can't imagine.
We had just about 160 going north on the 15 just before the racetrack. So
when you're giving me the ride, it feels planted even at high speed, even in the corners.
No, it's a very stable car.
And what are your thoughts on the new GT500?
Well, I think the GT500 is smarter than I am. You know, the way it shifts and downshifts all by itself. There you go.
I'm gonna try to be quicker on the shifts with it. Oh my gosh! That was half throttle. That wasn't even full throttle. Keeps climbing, it doesn't let off. It just the power band on this thing is incredible.
Very wide power band, great torque.
Oh my gosh! You gotta push hard on the brakes, don't you? Wow, that was amazing. Oh my gosh! But again, man, I really appreciate it, Jim. This is
well, thank you.
Anyone who does get this is going to live up to their expectations. This is amazing, and plus being officially built by the team who built the originals.
Yeah.
This is like you were saying. This is like an exact copy of the original, but better in a sense. So you guys use new pieces of technologies too, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I didn't want to go overboard, but you know, I like to keep it as close to the legacy model as possible. You know, we did upgrades, you know, for safety, like the bladder and foam in the tank, the electrical shutoff switch. We did put a dual master brake cylinder in, and those kind of things for safety purposes. And then the other changes that we made were things that Peter wanted to change. You know, the rear window and the front fascia. And then we did the upgrade on the engine, you know, based on talking to Peter and Ted and what we thought, if Carroll was with us, what he would suggest.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You know. So, you know, we had skull sessions up at Peter's garage about, you know, what to do and how to, you know, how we wanted to configure the car, and this is what we came up with. Right.
I couldn't imagine actually racing this back in the 60s. Because like this, it's just so comparing new cars to the past ones, like the new 350 to this, it's an entirely different experience. Guys, you know, you driven the 350R, right?
Yes.
It's unreal how different they are. The technology though, like the new 350s have Magnaride, they've all this advanced suspension systems. In this is raw. This is
it is. It's a raw car. And so the computer system in this car is sitting up here. You know, that's the computer system that
Very
runs
different
this
than
car.
the new GT500, right? They're telling me that the transmission's smarter than you.
You know, the transmission. You know, you go into a corner and it has a little. They told me, you know, it has a little gyroscope down by your right hip.
Really?
And it knows where the steering angle is and what you're braking, and it knows the downshift. And then when you pull out of the corner after you get through the apex, and you press on the throttle, it knows the upshift. And you know, it's just an amazing car. It's a computer-driven car, basically.
If I were to describe this, I'd say it's probably the best driver's car, in the sense of it's all about you. This car
Exactly.
right here.
It's about the driver. It's about the driver being one with the car.
Yeah.
It really is.
Anyways, guys, if you do want to get your own Shelby GT350R actually built by the original team, go ahead and look up ovcmustangs.com and they can definitely help you out. You want to make it how many of these total?
Only 36.
36 total, so you should definitely, if you do want it, now's the time to call. You know what? Being back inside the 350R, this feels weird to me. It really does, because the steering wheel feels as light as a feather. When I'm spinning it, it's like nothing. In the classic GT350R, I had to put a lot of effort into it, and this thing, it's just so refined, so easy to drive. Even the clutch. When I was first starting the R back up again, my R, I didn't know what was going on because the clutch is just so light. It just, my foot would instantly just hit the floor like nothing. And the other 350R, the classic one, it's a very hard clutch. It reminds me a lot of my GT500 Super Snake. But the differences between both cars, it just blows my mind. This thing, of course, is gonna be faster on the racetrack, yeah, but just that is where this car came from. And to experience the difference between 50 years, this car, the new R, feels like the classic in the sense that you can put down that power in a corner and everywhere, and it just feels like the entire car can handle. It feels like it gives you confidence. This car and the classic, they're both driver's cars in the sense that with this you have a manual transmission, right? You have to rev match downshift yourself. Same goes for the classic. Honestly, I think Ford and Shelby did an awesome job. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps me out. This has been an amazing experience to me. I've always wanted to drive a classic 350R. Also, make sure to subscribe for much more great Shelby videos coming your way. We're gonna have a new 2020 GT500 fairly soon, and that thing's just gonna be even more insane than this. And lastly, don't forget to let me know in the comment section down below what you think of the classic Shelby GT350R. Thanks for watching, and I'll see all of you in the next episode.